What's going on, everybody? All right, let's get started. Hold on. Let me jump on YouTube. How's everybody doing? Tuesday afternoon here in sunny, hot Florida. I think it was like 94 today with heat index of like 99. So I decided it was time to clean out the pool. Bear with me here. Let me get this going. Bam, there we go. Awesome. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going live on YouTube. It's preparing the live stream, it said. So that's where we're at. I'm just waiting. Giving it a second. How's the day, bro? The day's going good, man. Day is going good. Oh, wait, hold on. Connection timeout. Oh, let's try this again. Day's going pretty good. Didn't take any trades today. Right? Didn't take any trades today. Oh, no, we took that. I took a small loss this morning on UCAD. I took a reduced loss. That was it. Everything else was kind of sideways. So as soon as YouTube gets on here, hold on. What the heck's going on with YouTube, man? Yeah, I think it is. I think it is going to be better price action. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. We may not be doing YouTube tonight. It's for some reason Zoom isn't doing anything with it. Hold on. Let's see. I'm going to give it one more shot. If it doesn't work, we'll do something else. Well, just waiting. I'm waiting for YouTube here. I don't think it's all good. Well, no worries. No worries. You guys can see my screen, right? We're all good. Yeah. All right. Cool. I don't know what the heck it's doing. If it doesn't go on this one, no worries. Yeah. No streaming on YouTube. Sorry. It is what it is. People can just catch the recording. Is it pixelated? It shouldn't be pixelated. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's dive into it. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. So no YouTube tonight. Let's dive into here. All right, boom. Let's get started. I tried. It is what it is. No B. All right, guys. So real quick, like I said, the last 3 weeks, the market has been just obnoxiously sideways to the point where Like from my journal, I really haven't had any big plays since that last Euro JPY trade back on March 25th. Bear with me here. Hold on. I'm just going to put a little message that if anyone wants to join Zoom, they can. Where is it? Let me do this. Copy invitation. Sorry, guys, give me a second. What is Forex? I'm just going to put this in there. Hold on. All right, cool. Hopefully they catch it. If not, no big deal. All right, we're going to move on. Yeah. So anyway, you know, the last 3 weeks have just been sideways. It's all about the intraday move. So, you know, you got to adjust with it. And like I've been telling a lot of people, you got to partial out. Just take your partials and move on. But we are seeing, or we will be seeing, some really nice movement this week. You know, it started last night with the Australian dollar. NZD is tonight. NZD should be coming out. Actually, it already came out. So what was the number? Hold on. What was the number? I'm guessing it just stayed the same. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, unemployment went down, which is good. Yeah, good. So it should have strengthened some NZD stuff. But more importantly, what I'm waiting for is all the pound news coming out Thursday morning, and of course NFP coming for the CAD and for US dollar at the end of the week. So I'm going to be really paying attention to what's going on with a lot of these crosses. If you know, pound and US dollar crosses is what I've got on my plate for this week. Kind of what I want to attack. And yeah, let's dive into it. You have no sound here? Wait. Can you guys not hear me? Wait, you still see the disclaimer screen. You guys don't see Safari? Oh, all right. Yeah. All right, no worries. Yeah, let's get into it. You guys are non-technical people, man. All good, no worries. Well, now TradingView's not loading. All right, so yeah, let's dive into it. So I'll just start with EJ because I've been waiting for this thing for like 40 days now. Long story short, right? I'm still holding what I got over here for the last 40 something days. And the next area I'm personally looking at is I'm going to be looking in this reaccumulation. This is the slingshot, right? That confirmed the break of the UTAD, right? So this is going to be the first area I'm going to be looking. I need a schematic in here. There's some really good, you know, areas in here that I want us to trade down to, and you can kind of see that's kind of what we're doing. We're just doing this right here. So as we trade lower into this area, I'm going to go through confirmations that I need, right? I'm just going to take a simple schematic, doesn't care what time frame it is. You know, it could be a 15-second schematic, it could be a 5-minute schematic, right? But I want a schematic in this reaccumulation area. So anywhere between like 13600 and I would say like 13800, that 20 pip range. I've got my alert at 131, and you know, you can see we're about 30 pips from my alert. We're about 50 pips from the point of interest I want to get to. So this is the first area I'm going to start to look for an entry. And of course, my targets are going to be still the weekly. Nothing's changed in the last like 2 months. I'm still looking to take this sucker up into this weekly supply point. All right. Um, I mean, that's ultimately what I'm going to be looking at. And of course, the second point of interest that I'm going to be looking at is if we do violate the slingshot, right? I'm going to be looking for price to come back in here, right? Primarily, I like the 4-hour candle. So if you dive in to what happened here, right? We had an accumulation. Price ends up coming up, and this for me was the mitigation of this accumulation. And if you go over to the 4-hour, bro, the 4 hours, just the candle I like. I mean, it is the most voluminous candle that you've got. So if we get in there, this is where I'm going to be looking. Now, can we trade below it into the accumulation? Absolutely. So like there's no limit order for me personally in that. I guess I can delete this. No limit order for me personally, because I want to catch a decent entry. I want to catch a really tight stop, and go from there. So these are the 2 points I'm going to be looking at. And this 4-hour candle specifically, like 80% of that candle comes in around 129.85. And I mean, you can just go in like on the 1 hour, you could see where that lines up with the 1-hour candle. It's damn close to that 50% of the 1-hour candle. But when you just kind of pay attention to what price action did in here, it was ultimately let me mute my ring camera. There we go. It was ultimately a really nice accumulation that happened in here. You get our 3 drives, the spring, price breaks up. This comes back into the open of those candles. So can price come lower? Absolutely. But the first area I'm going to be looking is right in here. Can we go deeper into this? Yeah, we can. What determines the time frame schematic you use for entry? Nothing. I don't care about the time frame of schematic. You know, I haven't gone deep into, I guess, back testing that. Like I haven't looked to see, well, if I'm in a weekly candle, do I, is a obviously the higher time frame schematic is more relevant. But I've taken 15-second schematics and caught a 1 to 100 where a daily schematic ended up hitting my stop loss. So I just, what I use it for is I'm not going to go lower time frame. I'm not going to jump down. And in my case, I like to go on a 15-minute. I'm not going to go to a 15-minute time frame and watch EJ until my alert goes off and we get into this box. When we get into the box, then I'll go to the 15. And then from a 15-minute schematic, I can see if we're in a 1-minute accumulation. So I'll just start paying attention to the candles. And in one 15-minute schematic or one 15-minute candle to the next, I can kind of determine what's going on. And then if I have to go down to a 1 minute, I'll go to a 1 minute. So yeah, that's ultimately how I look at it. All right. But this is where I'm looking. All right. EJ is pretty easy for me. Like I said, just in this distribution schematic turned reaccumulation, I've been waiting personally 33 days now for a potential entry. So we're just going to wait on it. This is what I've got on the radar. I'd like to really get into it. And, for those of you still holding this, it's been pretty easy, right? I mean, at one point we were 380 pips in profit. It never gave a reason for us to close out. So I've taken the partials I'm going to take out of it. I'm going to go from there. Why do I expect an accumulation in that specific area? Because those are going to be those are the points that demand is present, right? I mean, buyers came into the market here, right? Buyers came in the market here, came back to mitigate, took off. And this was that last area where buyers came in to cause the break. So that's why those 2 areas are where I'm looking. Okay. Carryover from CHF JPY, pretty much the same thing. We had the daily schematic that we were looking at turned reaccumulation, right? So remember, the 2 things that confirm a reaccumulation are a break of structure and a jump across the creek, right? 2 things. We got our jump across the creek right here, break of structure right here, right? So this confirmed it. What I would be looking for, all right, is again, out of here, this is the reaccumulation, right? You got your 3 drives, you got your creek. So this reaccumulation, which is the slingshot on the daily time frame, is the cause of that. So this is number 1 where I'm looking, right? Number 1 point of interest. And of course, number 2 would be down here. All right. But we've got a long way to go to get all the way down to that extreme of that leg. All right. from a lower like intraday perspective, if we get down in here, we can see, we could see what? Well, we can see that price ultimately attempted a distribution, right? And from this point, this is the last point where buyers created that push. And what do we have here? 1, 2, 3 drives, right? We have those 3 drives. So going on over a week now is where I caught that entry down in here. So what do we need to see for potential entry out of this? Well, I need to see we have first point of interest I'm going to be looking at is this reaccumulation, right? This was the slingshot that broke that high. And then this is the extreme of the leg, right? This is that extreme of the leg. So this was the STB. This was the LPS, right? So I'd be looking for price to either come into this area here or this area here, right? No limit order because this is all like lower time frame stuff. For me, I would be setting limits on intraday and higher time frame, not lower time frame. Okay. Hold on, let's see. If it mitigated, why would price come back on what? On which pair? What confirms the reaccumulation? So it's a break of structure and a jump across the creek. Break of structure and a jump across the creek. Yep, there you go. You got it, bro. Awesome, awesome. Yeah. So ideally this reaccumulation, I've got some price points where I'm going to be looking, but I'm not setting a limit on it. What I want to see is inside of this reaccumulation that happened over here. Inside of this reaccumulation right here. And you could see the attempted distro, right? You could see here's your 1, 2, 3 drives, sweep of liquidity, which is your shakeout, right? Your shakeout, and then off to the races it went. So this is the first area right in here. This is the first area I'm going to be looking for a lower time frame accumulation to go. All right. And then the next area is down here. I'll be looking, I've kind of got the 80% of the 2 hour, which is the 30-minute open in my purview where I'm looking. And I'm still holding that buy I took out of here, right? Off that 15-second accumulation. So I kind of wish I would have put a little more risk into it, but it is what it is. Yeah. And at this point, just paying attention, it looks like it may be starting to distribute. I have no intention of trying to sell this down. I'm going to be just watching it. I want it to come on down here, give me that accumulation, a spring, break a structure, enter off the test, and we go higher. Okay. That's ultimately what I'm going to be doing. Yeah. Price, and you're right, Cash Man, lately, it's been just stupid. They're not coming back to mitigate, and that's just something that's new. I mean, I would say ever since maybe like the start of March, it's been like that because I went back in my journal and I looked last year. I had quite a bit of reaccumulations and redistros that I was able to catch. And even at the start of the year, I was able to catch some reaccumulations that were pretty neat. But yeah, it's only recently, and I don't know, I don't know if it's manipulative, on purpose like that, or they just, they're not, I mean, just look at this. At no point in this entire move did you truly ever get a decent entry, like I'm not going to take this entry here. I mean, that would have been realistically, that's like a 20 something pip stop loss. I'm not going to take this entry off of that because that would have been almost like a 40 pip stop loss. There's no entries. So you just kind of, when price gives you something, you got to take it. Why wouldn't I hedge it? Because for me, this isn't a clean hedge. Yeah. It'd be one thing if we had traded maybe into like, if we would have played like into a daily candle or something like that. But truthfully, like where this is distributing, I personally think it can go higher. I think we can get tucked in deeper into this weekly imbalance over here. And if you look at the weekly candle, right, this is the weekly candle right here that I want us to trade into. And all we did, I mean, we tapped into the open of it. Yeah, you can see we tapped into the open of it, but at this point we can either go deeper into it. So it's not, it's one thing if we tapped into 50% of it, started distributing, then I'd work the hedge. Absolutely, I'd work the hedge in. but I'm not interested in trying to do something with this right here. You know, same thing like EJ. I'm not trying to catch a sell on EJ. I'll just sit here and wait for it to come down. Yeah. They're odds are my strategy, man. Yeah, I don't know. You know, well, like I said, I'll be patient with it. I'll be patient. So let this sucker come on down. You know, again, I've got this price point right in here. This entire area. If we get a schematic in there, I'm taking it. And then of course I'm eyeing the 2-hour. I'm sorry, the 80% of the 2-hour is kind of the area I'm going to be looking, and it's this right here. So you could see full volume candle, really nice 2-hour candle. You know, and even if I was going to put a limit on this, which I may put like half my risk on the limit order. I mean, we're talking like a 9 pip stop. You know, and just getting up to the highs, getting up to these highs, let's just say like 120.20, nice 20 level. I mean, that's a 1 to 29, you know, and where I want to get up into the weekly would be just as good. So, Mike, do you do the top down analysis? I do. Yeah, I do. Absolutely. I do a top down analysis on every pair I trade, man. I got, you know, I want to know where we're at from weekly down to the lower time frame, you know, so higher time frame, intraday, and lower time frame. Mhm. Yeah. Nothing's changed on CHF JPY in 3 months though. Right. So there's no point in me looking at a top down because we've been bullish, right? Higher time frame. We've been bullish since we have been bullish since May 11th, 2020. So yeah, we've just been following this along. You know, this is what was maintaining bullishness. You know, we're still within that leg. And right now on the intraday side, what's maintaining intraday? Well, you know, realistically, it's this low right here that's maintaining. Actually, here, I'll just move it over. It's this low right here that's maintaining intraday. That hasn't changed since March 25th. So there we go. Yeah. All right. So hopefully CHF JPY is pretty easy. I mean, it's just like EJ, looking for it to come back into the slingshot or into the extreme of the lower time frame, and then taking it up from there. And if not, we're going to get a deeper retracement into the intraday leg. Okay. So that's kind of what I got on my radar for CHF JPY and EJ. The other thing I'm still holding an SPX trade. This was last Thursday's entry, and you know, I was looking at it. This is like counter trend of all counter trends. This is like super counter trend, and realistically, this is why I only put a small amount of money into this risk. My yeah, I could look at GJ. Send me your chart on GJ. We'll kind of compare. You know, absolutely. You know, so what I was looking at was this, right? And timing was perfect on this, right? And this is why timing was perfect on it. So pre-market, we're getting this distribution, and what's really significant was where we created the UTAD. UTAD happened 9:30, right there, 9:30 a.m. equities open. That's the 9:30 candle. So for me, that was extremely significant, simply because, you know, pre-market, a lot of the traders aren't doing anything. Market opens up and they see the breakout of the resistance zone. So what are they looking for a buy? And what did this thing end up doing? Just collapsing. So my initial entry was looking off 50% of that candle. But before I took the entry, what I needed to do was I needed to invalidate demand zone. So this accumulation here was invalidated by that push. So as soon as that happened, I set the limit order and just let it play out. You know, I put, it was a reduced risk just because this is so counter trend. And you can kind of see how I managed it. You know, I took partials, closed out 25% right in there, took another 25% when we came in here. And then ultimately when we broke the low is what I was looking at. So on that break of the low, you know, you can kind of see what happened, right? We had another distribution, type 2. This was the up thrust of that distribution, the LPSY. And then in there, we had a fractal distribution, right? We had a really nice type. I mean, I wouldn't say it was nice, but we had a type 1 that met all the criteria, right? I mean, here's your trading range, you know, your climax, test, up thrust, UTAD, right? The only thing is there was just no entry off of that because from the UTAD we never broke structure, right? Never broke the up thrust's low. So all of this was really no entry for me. But I will look. I will look come maybe crossover tomorrow or New York Open. I'll be looking for a buy out of the slingshot, right? So I'm not a buy, but a sell out of the slingshot. I'll be looking for, this is the cause of the break, right? You could see ultimately this new low is here. This was the cause of that break of this low. So we get a schematic in here. I'll be looking for sells. And if not, I'll be looking for sells out of this area right here. All right. These are the two supply points I'd be looking at. And then ultimately, like, what's my target? Where do I want to take this? Well, I mean, let's just say, I know this is a little adventurous, but I would be tickled pink if we can walk ourselves into this, right? If we can walk ourselves into that, I'd be great. You know, we still have this that's maintaining the leg on the intraday. So if we can walk it all the way down here, great. If not, you know, I'll be taking partials very frequently on this sell. Okay. Can I look at USD Swiss franc? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you've got a chart though, drop it. Drop the chart. We'll take a look at it. Like I like to. I don't want to like influence your bias. If you're looking at something, maybe you know, maybe I see something that you don't, or maybe you see something I don't, and we'll take a look at it. So, but SPX, yeah, and SPX for me was the cleanest. It gave the distro. It's been giving multiple distros. You know, if you look at the other equities, like Nasdaq has just decided it wanted to fall off the table. So Nasdaq, I do believe that we are going to come into this area here, right? It does have a distro up in this top, but I would prefer I'd prefer SPX. Yeah. On the 1 minute time to notice a 1 minute schematic. Yeah, I mean, you don't. I'll tell you what. I mean, most of you guys know how I trade. I only recently got the seconds time frame. Like I haven't had any of that, you know. So okay, sorry. Let's see. Looking for a buy in this extreme there. Okay, take a look at it. And we'll take a look at GJ too. So yeah. Yeah, for like the seconds time frame, and you could see a seconds time frame on a 1 minute. I mean, you may not be able to get the right candle, or you may not be able to see like the imbalance, but you can definitely do it. Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So like moving down, let's take a look here. So we've got someone wants to look at Euro USD. Sure. We're looking at GJ. Wow. Whew. Man, that's a lot of color. That's a lot of color. We'll take a look. Yeah. All right. No worries. So real quick, I'll just go down my list too, and then we'll kind of get in there. Basic, he said. Uh, no worries, man. No worries. So if there's no schematic in the slingshot, will you not consider it a supply and demand zone? No. Now it's still cause and effect, right? It's still, and I'll tell you right now, 95% of all slingshots are schematics. They're redistros or reaccumulations. Very seldom will you not see a continuation move from the slingshot. So yeah. I mean, you know, and we'll look at them, right? Well, I'll give you some examples. So on AJ, right? AJ, I'll tell you this, you know, we're still bullish. We've just been sideways for, you know, a month and a half or something like that. You know, this is still what's maintaining the bullish leg right here. This is the new high. And, you know, we've just kind of been sideways. Order flow, though, order flow is bullish, right? Order flow is bullish. So me personally, what I'm looking at is right in here, right? I'm looking for us to trade down in here. You can see I've got my alert sitting over here. And if we get a schematic in here, I'll take it. No limit order, because all of this is just order flow. And I'm sure you guys know like order flow is like ranked number like 75 on my list of precedents. So, hey, what's up, Sango, man? How you doing? Yeah. I thought Yuri's charts were colorful. Yeah, man. I may need to take like a Zantac or something. Not a Zantac, but a Xanax or something to look at that chart, man. That might send me into convulsions. Um, yeah. So, but yeah, yeah. I'm looking at for AJ. I'm looking. I think so. I don't know who it was this morning, but we were looking at this 54 minute candle. Right. This is the area I'd be looking at right in here. So you could see how we're just making higher highs on the order flow side. So any schematic in this area, like between 83.20 and I would say like maybe 83.50, yeah, I'd be looking to take it. So yeah. So what you got, man, on GJ? Yeah, that's another GJ. Yeah, we'll take a look at GJ. So okay. Now let's get to the one I really like. So I'm liking AU. All right. I am liking AU. And this is what I'm liking on AU about. So if we just look at it from yeah, nope, not live on YouTube, man. Not live on YouTube. YouTube, Zoom wouldn't let me go live. So no live on YouTube. All right. All right. So, oh, the dogs are barking. In case those of you that follow the zoo at my house, I found 2 kittens in my tool shed today, and now my kids have decided to adopt 2 kittens on top of everything else that I have at this house. So, yeah, welcome to the zoo. So you could see we got our leg here, down to here, down to here, right? This was our leg, and we actually broke that leg right there by 1 pipette, right? 1 pipette, and then obviously, and then we get the continuation down. So you got to look at points of interest. Well, we have this is the extreme of the leg, and then this is the slingshot, right? This is the slingshot. So what do I need in the slingshot? I need a distribution, and sure enough, we got a distribution, right? We got our 3 drives, right? We have our 3 drives. 1, 2, 3 drives. Our 3 drives, and what do we get? We got our MSAL, right? So for me, this is the first area I'm going to be looking at in that slingshot area. I need a distribution, and if not, I will be putting a reduced risk entry simply because this is just lower time frame stuff. I would be putting a lower risk off of this area right here, and I'm particularly looking at the 59-minute candle, right? Most voluminous candle right here. It is the 9-minute open. So if we go over here and take a look at it, it is the 9-minute open. It's that candle right there. It's also the 8-minute open, right? So, and if we go into the 1 minute, you'll see that what kind of happened in there. You can see price has this 1 minute candle. This wick mitigates to the open of that. But then if we get into the 30-second, you can see the gap. All right. You can see that there's a little bit of imbalance here. So for me, I'm covering to the top of this wick. Shouldn't be too much of a problem because for my entry, it's about a 3.8 pip stop loss. All right. So that's what I'm looking at. That's where I'm looking to take it. What's an MSAL? Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. You're going to have to dive in to the Ruben Verlamosa's Wyckoff methodology book. An MSAL is just a minor sign of weakness, and then the big MSAL is a major sign of weakness. So yeah, let's see. All right, hold on. What do I mean by slingshot? Oh man, yeah. So easiest way to answer it is the slingshot is the move that created the new high or the new low. So that's my slingshot. And if you need help, just dive into some of the YouTube videos because I talk about it a lot in there. All right. For AU, how come you don't classify the impulse up that took place on 421? 421. All right. Sorry, guys. So, all right, 421. 421. Hold on. Let me look at this. So 421 as the ST when it tested 50% of the trading range. 421 as the this. That's what your ST is? That's what you're calling out? Yeah. Okay. So for me, testing 50% of the trading range isn't from here, right? So in a distribution, is this testing valid supply? And the answer is no. I want this to test valid supply up here. What I want 50% of the trading range is when price tests supply, I want it to push down to 50% of the trading range, because what it's showing me the commitment of sellers to push price down, right? This isn't testing supply for me. So that's why I don't validate that as a secondary test. Just the same thing like in an accumulation, right? So if we get something like this, right? I don't consider this a secondary testing demand, right? I need it to push down to the lower end of the trading range. So that's why this isn't a secondary test for me. Yeah. You have the 73-minute, bro. Let's see what you got. 73-minute. 80%. That is a good candle, man. I like it. What's the stop loss? Let's see. What is it? It's 78.145. 78.145. Yeah. So your entry is 3 pipettes north of mine, which is fine. You know, yeah, we're around about. It's a good candle. I like it. I like it. Let's see. Hold on. Let me catch up. Can I show the 1 hour again? Yeah, you got it, bro. Does that make sense? Fibs, how do you tell when a new leg is created? You got to work backwards. So you won't know the new leg is created until it takes the previous high, right? So if we're doing, like if prices, right? You always, so if this is the high, this is the previous high. So if price does this, this is the next high. All of this was a whole lot of noise, right? You always got to work backwards, right? Find your highs like that, right? All of that stuff in here is just noise. Is the MSAO enough for a limit? Is the MSAO, yeah, for a reduced limit, For me, it is. Yeah. This was a good break outside of the trading range, especially coming out of the slingshot area. So I'm gonna set a reduced limit. I'm gonna do half of what I normally do out of this, and then if we do get up there, ideally I'm gonna save the rest of it to take an entry off of the schematic. There are some terms I don't know. Do you go over them in your YouTube? Yeah, I mean, I try to. Your best bet, if you haven't done this, look, if you don't have Ruben Villamosa's book, I definitely pick it up. You know, I mean, you can go on Amazon. I think it's like $20. Well, this is Wyckoff 2.0, but it's like $20. You can do that, or you can get the Wyckoff methodologies in depth, number 1, which is another like $20. So, and if you have access to our public server or public Discord, we have the PDF version in the free education. So, yeah. But you still be looking for a UT for a reaction if we trade through the slingshot, right? Yeah. I do want, at this point here, from what I'm looking at on AU, I would like to see a really clean distro on the lower time frame to take this down, you know, and then this would be my target. So, but you can't deny this distro. I mean, this distro is pretty clean, and when we're looking at it, right, who's in control, buyers or sellers? And at this point, sellers are. Right, sellers have taken control of this. Every time we come into supply, what happens? We immediately see a nice reaction. So, and we're bearish on the intraday on it. So, let's see. Yep. When you get a second, UCAD. Yeah. I got it, bro. We're gonna go over it. I got you. Use the Wyckoff intro video for yeah. If you go into my YouTube, there's a video. If you go into the Wyckoff playlist, it's the Wyckoff intro. My apologies. I don't know. I don't remember how long it is, like 3.5 hours or something like that. But I would say start there. I kind of give a breakdown of that. Yep, yeah. And Ruben's first book was great. The 2.0 version is really good too. So it's just counter trend at no limits on the UT, right? It's not that it's counter trend. It's so, I mean, it's not that I don't counter trend off UTs, but so what do we have confirmed right now? We have a type 2, right? This is a type 2. How do we know it's a type 2? Well, what do we need for a type 2? We need a break of structure, right? So where was the break of structure? If this was the high and this was the previous high, right? What was the break of structure? The break of structure was this low, right? So we've got the break of structure. And then what else do we need? Exit of the trading range, which is equal to a sign of weakness, right? And this is what we got, right? We exited the trading range and we do have a sign of weakness. So I do have to trade the type 2 off of it. Now, do I, I mean, you know me, do I like type 2s? No, I hate them, right? I mean, they're so subjective. So at this point, that's why this is half of my normal risk, right? That's why I'm going to do it like that. Yeah. Yeah. Here, if you need my YouTube, hold on. Here it is. Give me a second. Yeah, here's the channel right here. There you go. All right. Oh, there you go. You got it. Thanks, bro. How do you determine your risk? Whoa, man. How do I determine my risk? So you have to know what your maximum risk is in form of pips. So in this case here, this is 4.2 pips. So my risk is 4. So, you know, depending on how much I'm going to risk, in this case, I'm going to risk 0.25%, you know, or if I'm going to risk 1/8%. So if you're trading, let's just say you're trading a prop firm account and you got 100K, right? $100,000 limit. Then if your risk is $125, which is 1/8%, then that's going to be ultimately what you're risking $125. All right. And if price gets down to here, that's a 1 to 33. You'll have made 41.48.81 on this trade by risking $125. So, but you got to know what your stop loss is and then just put it into a position size calculator. You know, you put that into a position size calculator, you're good to go. All right. What you got, bro? Yeah, there you go. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's because a UTAD won't be created. Wait, you're talking about the type 2? Yeah. The chances, the likelihood of a UTAD being created are slim to none now at this point. And realistically, at this point now, what do we have? We have a creek, right? We have a creek like this. And if we do create that UTAD, at that point, we would have the jump across the creek and we would have a break of structure, which would confirm this is a reaccumulation. So if I do take the loss here, then what do? I just wait for us to come back down here to mitigate and I'll buy it up, right? Trade the distro, react to the reaccumulation. Type the name. Yeah, there you go. Ruben Villamosa, you got it. Good job. Thank you, guys. Yeah. All right. So AU is definitely what I've got on my radar. I've got it. You know, I would like to see this happen come in here during London. And realistically, we're probably not going to, you know, if you look at time wise, the time it took to get from here to here was 22 hours. So you figure we're about 10 hours from getting to the area where I want to sell it. And if we get on a 5-minute chart and a 5-minute distribution happens, what are we looking time wise? Well, we're looking anywhere from 4 to 5 hours for confirmation for an entry. So realistically, this is probably going to be a crossover or even a New York session kind of trade. All right. Do you add spread into the stop? Yeah. On a sell, spread goes into your stop loss. On a buy, it goes to your entry price. Yep. Yeah. Partial out, partial often. There you go, man. There you go. Take your partials. you know, take your partials. So, and of course, you know, long term in a perfect world, if the market decides it wants to do what it wants to do in the right manner, you know, wherever, if we get the entry here, get the entry here, you know, definitely I'll be looking at taking some volume off when we make this low. And what's my overall target? Well, if this is the break of this leg that created that, so obviously I'd be wanting to take it down to this right here, you know, and then from there keep walking it down. So yeah, this is going to be target number one, main target number two, and then you just want to take some partials in between that. So you were doing on the buys as well. Yeah, no, yeah. On the buys, you don't need to cover it in your stop loss, only your entry, because on the buys you're protected. Buy side is always protected from broker manipulation. Sell side is not. So that's why, like, if you're in a buy getting close to change over time, the broker can't manipulate you out of your price unless price physically trades below that price point. On a sell, they can do that. You know, so like if you're in the sell, let's just say hypothetically you're in the sell here on a 4.6 pip stop, and price comes in at 4:55 p.m. Okay, no biggie. If the broker automatically AU goes from a 1 pip stop or 1 pip spread to a 7 pip spread, guess what? You just got stopped out without price ever trading above that wick. So that's why you got to pay attention to what you're doing. Like for me, I typically don't look for sells past 3 o'clock, simply because I won't be protected. I'll just have to look for an entry when the market reopens. Okay. So yeah. Yep. Yep. Still add it to your buys. Absolutely. Yeah. On the entry price, you got to add it to your buys. So otherwise you won't get filled. Yeah. So on the sell side, it's the exact entry that you want. So for me, like my sell entry is going to be 78,142. That's exactly where I'm going to put my entry. And then my stop loss would be 78,184 plus whatever the spread is. And typically on AU, it's like 0.8 pips or 0.8 pipettes. So why is it brokers can manipulate on sells only? Because when they manipulate the spread, right? When they manipulate the spread on it, if it goes from 1 pip to 7 pips, the bid price is still here, but your price will then come up here on a sell. Where on the buy, price has to physically trade below the wick. So that's the joys of having spreads, and that's how brokers can really manipulate it. So yeah. So you get a type 1 distro inside of the SC candle. If the UTAD takes the high of the SC candle, is that yeah. So I'll tell you this, I don't want it to. I don't want it to trade above it, right? In my experience, when it trades above it, the likelihood of the distro fulfilling itself is slim to none. So, you know, I would like it to maintain that low or that high and continue down like that. Okay. If you look at where this distro is occurring, right, we've maintained the slingshot area off the higher time frame. We've maintained it. All right. If you conversely, if you look at NU, right, what has NU done? NU has traded above the slingshot, right? This is the slingshot that broke structure on NU. We've traded above it. So that's why I'm not really favoring NU sells right now. You know, could it happen? Sure. But I prefer that AU one. All right. Cool. All right. So there you go. Cool. So AU is what I got on my mind. All right. AU is what I got on my mind. Let's look at, I know someone's got AU in there. Hold on. Or let's say EU. We'll look at EU. We'll look at GJ, man. Wow. Okay. Here, you got your AU. So what are we looking on AU here? Let's see. You're looking. All right. So what are you looking here? Talk to me. We got a distro into another distro into another. So you're looking for sells out of this distro. Is that what you're saying? So yeah, exactly. So in the case of if the UTAD does trade above it and we get confirmations for an entry, that's an instance of when I would reduce my risk. So instead of doing like a full, 0.25%, maybe I'll do 1/8 of a percent. Or instead of risking $250, maybe I'll throw $100 at it. I'll still trade off the schematic, but it definitely takes it takes it a notch down in probability. So So is there a reason why you're not considering this LPSY in an entry? Which LPSY? This one right here? Why would I consider that LPSY? What did that do? So my question is, what did this do? Because did it break structure? Nope. It didn't cause the break of structure, right? Didn't make that low. Like what did it do? And for me, nothing. Yeah, for me, nothing. Yep, that's all it was just an order flow break. Absolutely. You know, and I mean, if you're going to count an order flow break, think of how many times we had an order flow break just on this 15-minute time frame, right? We had a order flow break there. We had an order flow break there. We broke order flow there. We broke order flow there. We broke order flow there, 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 there. We did it again here and again here and again there. And yeah, no, for me, this isn't important. This is what's important right there. That's what's important. Yeah. Yeah. 200 positions away. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, not that you can't trade those. I mean, listen, I'm sure people trade them, man. I don't want to trade those. I would rather, instead of, and this is how I look at it, right? So let's just say you caught 10 positions here, 10 trades, and each one went, 1 to 5, right? So you caught, realistically, you caught 50 R to R, right? That's what you caught, because 10 times 1 to 5 is 50. I'm just looking for the one trade that goes 1 to 50, right? We caught the same amount of money, right? We would have caught the same amount of money. The only difference is I would have risked 1% in this case, and you would have risked 10%, right? Your exposure is just way too much. And like when you start trading larger accounts, that exposure for me, it means everything in the world. So basically, I only look at the main distro and the slingshot. No, I look at the cause and effect of it, right? So for me, this is the cause of the break. And then this is the origination of that cause. So everything in between, right? Everything in between doesn't matter, right? And I'm curious, hold on. Now I'm curious about something. I'm curious if this thing, what time did this happen at? Yeah, so this was London high. I gotcha. Yeah. Let's just go 15 minutes. Yeah, I mean, and even the distro in that is sloppy. Like I wouldn't even consider this a true distro. Yeah, because I mean, it's I guess you can articulate maybe like a type 4 in there on a 1 minute, a type 4, but yeah, this is yeah, unless it's clean, I ain't gonna trade it. So for me, I like the move up here off the larger schematic. That up thrust is where I want to play, in here. So yeah. But doesn't have more significance since it's the LPSY and broke that schematic. Yeah, I don't know what you mean on that, but yeah. All right, but that's AU. So AU, I'm looking at those 2 points. What do we got? GJ, we got a GJ, a gold. All right, we'll put GJ over there. And EU. All right, so let's talk about EU because I got EU's next, right? Yeah, let's talk about EU. What do you got on EU here, man? So you are looking for an accumulation. Yeah, I got the same thing, man. You got the same thing, right? Be looking for the same thing. Yeah, it looks good, man. Like on EU, same thing. I'll be looking at it 2 points, right? So I'm looking at it here first, right? Get a schematic in here. And if not, right, so I'll be looking in here. If we don't get it there and we break this low, right, then I want to come down into this area right here. This is on the intraday side. This is the push that created this leg, right? This is a continuation that not only broke what was over here to the left, right? But this is the push of this now leg. So, what we're looking at now is we've broken lower time frame, right? Because this was lower time frame structure, the cause of that. We've broken that. Intraday is still bullish. Higher time frame is still bullish, right? So at this point, there's no limit orders on EU for me. It's just simply I got to watch price action, and if we get something, I'll take it from there. Yeah. All right. All right. Cool. So yeah, EU, same thing. I'm looking at it here, looking at it here. These two reaccumulations. That's ultimately what these were, reaccumulations. So would you be looking at? I got some crypto stuff that I've been looking at. I'm not leverage trading. I haven't. I'll be honest. I haven't leverage traded crypto this year. I've just been exchange, buying it on the exchanges. Which one's the intraday leg? So currently, intraday leg is being maintained by this right here, because this was the break, right? This was the break, and we just haven't had any pullbacks, right? This is the first truly big pullback that we're seeing. So this is what's maintaining intraday. Yeah. Yeah. Why is that first POI for me? So this right here is my POI, just because this is the reaccumulation. So this entire thing was a reaccumulation. It's a demand zone. That's it. So if I see evidence, right, because intraday we're bullish, and we could easily turn bullish on the lower time frame. So if I see a schematic on the lower time frame, what happens on the lower time frame, right? Let's say we get this. All right, at that point, lower time frame is now bullish, right? And we can target this high. So until the intraday gets violated, I'll be looking at any demand zone. But then does that mean would every reaccumulation be yeah, every reaccumulation is a demand zone, right? In bullish conditions, we got to look for, so I'll be looking at it here. I'll be looking at it here. No limit orders, right? It's not a limit order, but if you have to look and say, okay, well, why are we building a schematic in there? Because we're in a demand zone. So that's how yeah. So unless we get a clean schematic, I won't take it from there, but yeah, I'll be looking from those spots. 320 minute. What do you got on the 320? Let's see. Out of this? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's the most voluminous candle, man. That is the most voluminous candle. Too bad it's, I mean, this is just a horrible freaking time period to be in it. So yeah, 1.600. Hold on, 1.600. Yeah, I guess so. It's all going to be dependent upon if you consider this the structure break, right? Is this maintaining structure until we take this high? Yeah, I agree with you. For me though, this break, right? This break here represents the intraday. So, the question would be, would you be willing to take a trade if price does come all the way down here? Are you still looking to take that trade? And my answer is no, I'm not, because what have we done, right? We potentially have done something like this, and there's a lot of steam now coming down into it. So I wouldn't expect us to break below here to turn around, 40 pips later to then go like that. I would need to see a schematic in here for me to even contemplate that. So, yep. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we haven't. Yeah, exactly. We haven't made a new high on it yet. Yeah. Yep. Cool. So yeah, EU is on point. You got it right. What else we got? So gold, we'll go over gold. GJ, where's GJ at? Yeah, we'll do GJ. So real quick, pound chef, man, I got nothing on pound chef. Like it's just been This is what I got. We made a high, we made a new high up here, and this is the leg. So we've just been sitting here for, I don't know, it sounds like over a week, right? What has it been? Yeah, 27 days. 27 days we've been in this. So I'm in, at this point, I don't feel that this is a valid accumulation anymore. This is just garbage. So, I either want to see one or two things. I want to see us drop here, break this low, come back up. I'll be looking for a sell out of here to come lower. That's kind of what I'm looking at. What do we got? Yeah. It's garbage, absolutely. So pound chef is kind of like, it's on the watch list, but it's not, it's not. All right, let's take a look at GJ, man. What you got on GJ? So you've got so you're looking to sell this thing, huh? You're looking to sell it out of here. All right, so you're looking to sell it. I'm just curious, what are you seeing as far as structure on GJ? You bearish, you bullish, what are you? What you got here, bro, on GJ? Yeah, we got that schematic in there. Yeah. So you're looking for the sell out of here. What do you got over here, bro? All right, so wait a minute. So you're looking for a sell as well. All right, so buy with 1 hour close above. So if we close above here, you're looking for a buy. Monday's high, current week supply zone. Sell after a 1 hour close below. Okay. All right, here, I'll show you guys what I got. All right, so let's take a look at GJ. Why wouldn't you see this as now as G-Chef? Let me see, bro. No. I mean, you can potentially say a redistro, okay, but the question is, have we broken this low? Until we break that low, I'm not looking for a redistro. So if this happens, then yeah, then you're right with that redistro. But maintains intraday order flow bearishness, right? Order flow, yes, but not structure. Yeah, this I'll tell you right now, like this in here kind of just has thrown all of this off. So until we take this low, I really am not going to pay attention to pound Swiss franc. Yeah. What's the intraday legs? So we broke. Yeah. You're right here with the break. I agree with the break. But for me, I don't know if I consider this the pullback, right? Like I would consider maybe this still just one long leg. Yeah. Until we break this low, I'm not really going to make a decision on what the structure is in here, just because this is all garbage, man. This is like all just slop. There's just so much junk in here. You've got, I don't remember if you remember, but we were looking, there was that distribution in here that mitigated, and then you had multiple attempts at an accumulation. So until we take that low, I'm really not going to try to make sense of it. Yeah. What you got? Would you agree that's where maintaining bullishness from? On the lower time frame? Yeah. This is your leg. Yeah. Let's here. We'll get into here. So let's talk about GJ from. So let's look at GJ here from the daily, right? So higher time frame, right? I mean, you can kind of see we're bullish, right? We're bullish from this leg right here, and we've just been sideways. So in that intraday, right, what are we seeing on the intraday side? Well, we're in an accumulation, right? We're in an accumulation, higher time frame. That accumulation has done what? It has had a low, made a new low. This was the structure, and we broke that structure with this leg. So this is the leg right now on the intraday. And I personally would not be looking for sells. Yeah, I personally wouldn't be looking for sells. I would be waiting. Well, it sucks because I'm pretty sure that this is just going to go from here. But I was waiting to see if we can get something in here, or obviously if we can come down into this accumulation. Because not only did we have this accumulation, but we had a smaller time frame accumulation down in this area right here. So if you go down 5 minute, right, you can see that manipulation right in here. And maybe the 15 would be a little easier to see. Yeah, here's your schematic, right? However ugly it is, this is your trading range. 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't even call that one. We'll say 1, 2, 3 drives, right? And then price took off from here. So I would ideally, I would have liked for price to come back into this, 80% of this 15 minute. But I honestly, I really wouldn't be looking for sells out of this. I mean, we're massively bullish in this thing, especially coming out of a intraday schematic, right? I mean, just think of look at it from this perspective, right? You're looking from a 5 minute. So you're looking at this distro, right? You're looking at this distro. This distro couldn't even break this low, right? Couldn't even break that low. And in comparison, we've got this accumulation, right? These orders getting filled for buys. So like on my side, I'm just looking for buys. I'm not trying to sell this thing. Yeah, I'm not trying to counter it. Like I'll be looking for those buys. This was that New York, I wonder, did it give anything down there for a buy? Not that I would have probably taken it, but no. Yeah, nothing. Nothing that I would have played off of. What do we have? We have, oh wow, son of a gun, it did. Not that I would have played it though. I don't think I would have played it. Yeah, there's your schematic. Does it come? What's it come into? 30-second maybe? There's this. Let's see. What is that? The 3 minute? Let me see. 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute. Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have played it anyway, but it gave an accumulation in there. Yeah, it definitely did. Curious to see what was that? Was that a 3 minute? Let's see, 2 minute, 2 minute candle. Did it come to 50%? Sure did. Wow. Wow. So that was 9:20 this morning. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't have played it. I would have waited. I wanted it to come a little lower. But yeah, I personally don't see the sell. I mean, because you're looking at, this is your distro, right? So you're looking at an entry right now, and this distro, did it break this low? Nope, it didn't. So what do we have, right? Realistically, I see this just pushing up and taking out this high. New York low was last week's higher high. Okay. Yeah. New York low was yeah, but I mean, what do we have? We have an accumulation. You know, yeah, I mean, have at it. You know, I mean, I'm not saying don't trade it. I know I'm not taking a sell on it. That's all I'm not going to do. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to do it. Especially this coming into Asian session. I'm definitely not going to do it. Yeah. Let's see. Was trying to catch the STV, but it decided to create a spring. Yeah, I got you. Can we look at CAD J? Man, I got nothing on CAD J, but if you got a chart, let's see it. Yeah. I'll tell you this though, like I said, I would be looking for buys. I mean, I hope it does come down because I want to look for buys out of here. You know, I do want to look for buys, but we're massively bullish. You know, we're especially coming out of this schematic. I mean, we're massively bullish on this. And just if you look at the schematic, who's in control, buyers or sellers, you know, and from the intraday look, I mean, look at every time we come into demand, what happens, you know, we spend more time up at the top in supply than we do in demand. So yeah, I'm pretty, you know, shoot, I'll tell you what, if we get this may play out, you know, climax, maybe we get that test up here, maybe do something like this, walk it down, reaccumulation to go higher, you know, but that's wishful thinking. Buying from the SC area anymore, of what, of GJ? So the SC area was, realistically, this is the SC area right here. So I in this reaccumulation, yeah, you can see my alert sitting right here. If we get this here, absolutely, I'll be looking for a buy out of it. But I need a schematic. I need a schematic to go higher. So yeah. Let's see. You tried catching accumulation down at the spring, but it never came back. Yeah, in here, right? Oh wait, no, in the spring. Yeah, no, man. Yeah, it's got to come back down there. It's got to. It's got to. Yeah. All right. What we got on gold? Let me see. What else do I got? GU. GU is an easy one. GU is like EU. You know, you could see what's maintaining lower time frame structure, and you know, for me, it's this right here. Right. It's this right here. You know, we can see that price did this lower time frame. That. So from an intraday perspective, what do? Right. Well, we're maintaining higher time frame bullishness, right, out of this leg. We came down intraday, right, because we broke intraday structure, came down intraday and did something like that. This is what's maintaining intraday. We broke that here. So that means this is that leg that broke intraday. So we're higher time frame, intraday, lower time frame. I got to take the buy, you know, and look how we're coming down, right? We're coming down nice and simple. I like that. I like that way we're coming down. Come down in here. I want to get a schematic, take it higher. Absolutely. You know, so GU is pretty easy. Like I'm looking for buys on it. And you know, this thing's been sideways as well. I mean, really no big entries that I've been able to really get into with high probability. Everything, I think, what was it, last Friday? You know, we were looking at GU buys, you know, caught a break even on it, took some partials out of it, but yeah. I get sometimes, do we have something that's maintaining bearish order flow? Yeah. Like, right. So right now, I mean, what's maintaining the bearish order flow? And it's this right here, right? It's this high. So what is this? This is just order flow, right? That's all it is. Yeah. So if say we make one more low, well, now this is what's maintaining bearish order flow, right? So, you know, and then if we get a schematic in here, right, that's going to be probably like my first targets to break that order flow. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that's all it is. It's stupid highs and lows, and you know, realistically, it changes with the wind. You know, order flow can change with the wind. Look how many times just in this area here, how many times order flow has changed. You know, you had bullish order flow coming up, right? You broke this area here. Then what we broke it down. So yeah, I'm not trying to do too much with order flow. So order flow is lower time frame pull. It could be. Yeah, it could be. You know, you could say order flow is also lower time frame structure. You know, I can tell you this, right? I can tell you for certainty that this is the low that maintains lower time frame, and this is the high. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, if it makes it easier for you to see what's going on, you can come right here and you can just do the old, where is it at? You can just do that right there. And that's all that matters, right? Just wait for price, set your alert, and wait for price to come right back down here, because that's all that matters. All of this stuff in here is just sideways garbage, you know, just sideways garbage. And it means nothing. It's not structure. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because it's created new lows. So it's within that. Yeah. What's your take on the DXY? I have DXY maybe pushing up, which makes me look for sells on EU and GU. I can't open that, bro. So, but if you're looking for DXY bullishness, yeah, I mean, where are you looking for bullishness to, though? That's the question. So, you know, I mean, it's all dependent upon where you're looking for it to go to. For me, you know, yeah, I mean, I could see us, you know, I was looking to see if we were going to come in here and maybe make a push higher. But just remember that this is just intraday order flow. It's not structure, because structure is being maintained from here. All right. This is structure. Until we break this high, we're bearish still on DXY. So all we're seeing is a complex pullback. You know, and the way we reacted off of the 3-day in here, off this redistro, you know, I don't see us taking this high. I mean, if we do, great, but I just don't have that much faith in the dollar. You know, I do see us coming lower. That's ultimately what I see. You know, yeah. But yeah, I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on DXY. Like why, you know, what you're looking to take it higher with. Yeah, my bad. Hold on. Maybe did you put? Oh, that's what it is. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Yeah, yeah. But so you have your 3 drives, right? You have your 3 drives, but what's going on bigger picture? You know, look, yeah. Pay attention to what's going on in that bigger picture, because in the bigger picture, sure, you have your 3 drives. You know, this is ultimately right. If you look at it, hold on. So first question is, where did this accumulation come out of? You know, so it came out of this push down right here. And this is where I'm ultimately, right? This is where I'm ultimately looking for the sells out of EU and GU conversely. So if this comes up in here, I'm looking for that push down. No. All right, let's see. Look at gold. Okay. How do you hide half candles? How do you hide half candles? How do you hide half candles? I don't know what a half candle is. Yeah. For me, I don't see how they're going to support DXY. I don't see it. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else I had. So NJ. Yeah. Don't. I mean, listen. The lower time frame is fine. Just one thing I always do is before I make my bias up, just zoom out like 2 time frames, and just take a look at big picture what's going on. You know. And when you see this, right? Have we broken any structure? And the answer is no, we haven't, right? Because structure is being maintained by this. This was that push down that came here that did this leg. So until, you know, can we trade higher? Yeah, I mean, we can, you know, but until we break this high, I'm not ready to say that DXY is bullish on the intraday, you know? So yeah. All right. NJ, let's look at NJ. So NJ, I was actually looking at NJ because we invalidated the supply point. I was actually looking at NJ, was it the 44-minute candle in here? Yeah, yeah. So I was looking at buys on NJ when we get down here, right? So this was the reaccumulation, right? And then we had an accumulation in here. So schematic in here, you could see we're just trading very nicely down into it. Get a schematic in here, and I'd be looking to target some higher prices with it. But NJ isn't like one of the top on my list just because, we've kind of done a lot of things with NJ. We've broken intraday structure here, but then we invalidated supply doing that. So, it's one of those that if I see something clean on it, I'll take it. But if not, it's not, I don't really fancy it. Can you show the 4-hour leg? You like that intraday leg? Yeah. So this is higher time frame down here, but we've broken. For me, we've broken the intraday leg right here. So, I mean, I'm pretty confident that we're going to do this just because, especially invalidating that supply by this right there, by invalidating that distro. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable in saying that we're going to go higher. Yeah. Yeah. NU, I talked about NU with AU. Like I favor AU. I favor AU with it. So for me, AU looks a little cleaner. Yeah. All right, let's do UCAD. Someone have UCAD on here or no? No, someone had gold. We'll look at gold here in a second. So UCAD, there's no doubt about it. We're bearish as crap on this. So I could tell you my limit is set. My limit is set off of that 80% of that 6-minute inside of that 15-second schematic. Nothing's changed. I have talked about it for like a week now. So I'll wait in there. I was looking at a potential buy out of UCAD. I tried this morning to buy it out of this reaccumulation right in here. So caught an entry, saw a move that went, what was it like? Saw a move that took it 12 pips in profit, enough to at least reduce the risk. So instead of taking a full loss, I was actually able to save a couple bucks out of it. And then it swiped the highs and lows. Like this manipulation took out anybody that was trying to sell, and this took out anybody trying to buy. So going back to the original theory of, I want to see it come down into, either this reaccumulation that caused the break, or all the way down in here. That's kind of what that's kind of my thoughts on it. This was an accumulation. It's turning really ugly. So if it starts to, look at this price action in here. Look at that. So it's one of those where I'm kind of abandoning the buy on this, and I'll just be sitting here waiting for price to get up into higher prices. I really don't like how this is doing what it's doing. Let's see on the 45-minute. Yeah, it's a reaccumulation, but look at this, right? Look at all of that slop. So my only question would be this: like when we look at this, I like to ask myself, who's in control, buyers or sellers? And at one point I would have said buyers, but now your guess is as good as mine. Get a magic 8-ball, shake it up, and ask it who's in control. And I think that's about as decisive as I'm going to get an answer for. So I was assuming we'd climb up for the complex pullback and distro down. Yep. Yeah. In a perfect world, that's what I'd like to see. But I don't buy off assumptions. It's got to be clean. And right now, a whole lot of nada. Yeah. There's not even anything in here that I would say, okay, I want to play off of. Nothing in here makes any of this seem clean. If anything, what I may end up doing is, let's just say hypothetically we come into this and then we trade up, right? Well, then I'll look to see where the slingshot is and then the extreme, and then maybe play on that. I was looking, what was it? I have the 2-hour candle marked off here. So I was looking at this candle right here. That's the only thing that makes sense, but I just can't find a lot of confluence in it. So I mean, chances are this probably is just going to turn into a redistro. You know, we have that. We've got the break of the ice. This breaks down here. Definitely I'd be looking in this candle here for mitigation to go lower. So for scalping only, UCAD, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, if you've been selling it, I mean, it's been great. I mean, it kind of sucks that last week, was it last week or the week before, we were looking out of, we caught all these distros out of it down. And then where we were looking in here, it happened just to spike up a couple pips over and then took off. So, I mean, it's been great for the sells. I mean, I've been looking for sells for months on this stupid thing. So, for me, I'm going to continue to look for that sell if we can get up there. It took liquidity. Yeah, I mean, it just took out everybody that was selling from the past 30 days. That's all I did. So, yep. Yeah. So that's what I got on UCAD. Now USCHF, I am kind of paying attention to USCHF. Someone kind of showed me something today on USCHF. They were like, asked me to look at the chart, and I kind of did. So what do we see? I mean, you could just see lower time frame just walking this thing down. So this is what's maintaining structure in here. This is the low. Maybe this is the low, right? You could see just an ugly accumulation. And I mean, heck, if I get a distro in here, I'll sell it down. I'll keep selling this down. But I want to see that distro in here. We broke what was maintaining bearishness on the intraday on USCHF. We broke what was maintaining bearishness. We broke on the intraday. We broke what was maintaining bearishness. Yeah, but what's the higher time frame, man? What's the higher time frame? So when I look at the chart, what's the leg? And for me, that's the leg. Right? All we did was what? We came into the slingshot that broke the leg. Right here. And then if we go down, let's just go to like the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, what do we do? Well, we had this break right here. Right? We had this push down that broke all of this. This was that intraday push right there. We broke that. So I'm bearish on it. Ideally, I remember we were looking at that stupid sell from here and just, never gave us that pullback in. So at this point here, I'm going to continue to look for sells down into probably this area here is where I'd be looking, in this yellow box. Yeah. So that's what I got on USCHF. All right. So somebody's looking at gold. What are we looking on gold for? We looking at, yeah. So let's see, you have this is your trading range. So you have a climax and you're saying this is your secondary test. So, and then you're saying that's your UT. So let me ask you, does this test here give you that push down? Was that enough for you to validate that the commitment of sellers to sell price? And then you're saying that induced, so your UTAD, I guess the question would be, did this UTAD, did it induce buyers in thinking that we have done something to push price higher? And then did it take out sellers? Like for me, this doesn't validate that stuff there. And for me, I mean, yeah. Let's see, let's go to gold. Let's go to gold. I mean, I know already like my decision on what I'm looking for gold, because to me, I have no idea what the hell gold's doing. I know where I want to buy gold from. I want to buy gold from down here. I want to buy gold from down there. And I'll tell you, until we break through supply here, which caused that push, until we break through this area, you know, we're kind of like in limbo. We're fighting higher time frame supply, and this is just right. This is just order flow like that. Yeah, it is scalping central, man. Looks more like now we're on the YouTube. Yeah, but you know, your guess is as good as mine. Like this thing is this thing is not clean. Looks like a mess. Silver gave a UTAD. Silver gave a UTAD, and there's actually a distro in here. Yeah, there's your distro. There's your clean distro in there. What is it? Maybe the 20-minute, 22, 21, 21, maybe 23. You know what? Let's look at the whole candle. So 120, 122, 118, 116, 140. I want to find that candle. 142. The 5-minute order blocks, man. Absolutely. All right, we're getting closer. Hold on. Let's see. 155. Come on. It's going to be difficult, man. It's not going to give me what I want. Oh. Let's see the 160. 65. Come on. All right, 160 and 75. All right, I can't find that stupid candle. I'll have to look at it later, but I mean, we did have a distro. This is your distro right here. So that's your UTAD. We got the UTAD and we broke. The only problem with it is it didn't break any structure. So this UTAD did nothing. So from a higher time frame, you know, this on itself is the UTAD, but UTAD still hasn't broken structure. So like if we come up to like the 4 hour, right? If we come up to the 4 hour, we still haven't broken any structure. All we did was get that push down. So, you know, I'm kind of like in limbo with it. You know, we've taken out this leg high on the intraday. But yeah, I mean, I don't like anything about gold or silver right now. Like I'm not in the habit of risking capital for no good reason. You know, I was looking in this area here because we had an accumulation that caused the break, but I mean, you could see when the news came out, it just gave no entry. Like it lower time frame, nothing was clean. It didn't really show any compression. You know, we just plowed right through it. You know, so lower time frame, I need a lower time frame schematic. You know, I'm not going to set a limit order just off of that. What about that for gold? Let me see what you got, bro. A reaccumulation out of that. I mean, maybe. Again, like I would go back to, I would have to go back to the magic 8 ball and be like, I don't know what gold is doing, man. Like it is, to me, it's not clean. Yeah, to me, it's not clean. The 171 doesn't look bad. Let's see. 171 of what? Of this candle right here? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about, Kevin? Yeah, but the problem is, like, what are we going to play off of? It needs to break structure, right? Like we would need to take out this low. We would have to do that to play off of this, you know? So right now, and this is why, like, I haven't looked at gold, because let's just say from this move here to here, I mean, we're at 15 days of nonstop stupidness. You know, it's not like in here where we were able to really see what was going on. You know, or to these guys that caught that buy, you know, yeah, it's there's no rhyme or reason, you know. So I'm just not, You know, until, like I said, until we break this area here, until we break this supply point that caused that push down, I'm going to just sit on my hands with it. You know, I would love for that to be a reaccumulation. You know, so if that does become the reaccumulation and we do break this high, all right, then, you know, I'll start looking at buys out of something in here. You know, but that's about it. You know, it's pretty simple. Hold on, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Hold on. All right, all right, all right. All right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like gold, I'm just gonna wait. There is even, what is it? Let's go 1 hour. I mean, look at and again, structure, right? There's no structure because what do we have? We have this high, right? And then what do? Then we start making bearish order flow, right? Bearish order flow that breaks this, makes a new low, then breaks that. So until it decides what the heck it wants to do, I will just let it be its own thing. Anything on US 30? I mean, I'm looking for sells on it. Just I think SPX is cleaner. Like compare SPX and US 30, you know. For me, there was no distro. Look at so just look at this slop, right? Look at this. It's been stuck in a 500 point, right? In a 500 point range for 18 days. It's been stuck. So, yeah, here. I have no clue what it's doing. So, I mean, it could be a larger scale distro. You know, I mean, you could see it like potentially a distro, but at this point, what needs to happen? Well, if this does break that high, right? If it does create the UTAD, well, what do I need? Well, I need us to then break structure, right? So I need 500 points back down, you know, and then a mitigation to go lower. So it's just one of those that I'm just going to sit here and wait, you know, just sit and wait. And yeah, Nasdaq, yeah, GJ, we went over GJ. Yeah, we went over GJ. Yeah, Nasdaq. I'm looking for us to come back into this right here. You know, I mean, it did give a distro in here. What was it on? Oh, geez. All right, hold on. Let me just move this down. There we go. Yeah, Nasdaq. I mean, I'm looking for it to continue down into that buy area, but you know, I'm waiting for the pullbacks. Waiting for the pullbacks. Yeah, no, the US 31 would be an awesome sale. You know, I think same time last year is when I caught that huge one, just when like COVID came around. So yeah, I'll just be waiting on it. Yeah, real quick, GJ, this is all I'm waiting for on GJ, man. So I'm gonna be looking. You know, I know a couple people are looking for sells out of it. You know, I personally, I'm not looking for the sells. I'll look for the buys. So we get something down here, or obviously down in here, I'll be looking for the buys. So CAD distro, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So did you break any kind of structure? And, for me, nothing. I mean, it's not, I'm not, let me just see. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the daily. If you look at the daily, here's what we see on the daily. You know, we're inside the daily candle. Inside the daily candle. What daily candle? This daily candle right here that we're gonna break? Yeah, no. I mean, I was looking at the 3-day. I was looking at the 3-day, but if we trade above that 3-day, then this idea is done. Yeah, nothing about this here. Nothing about this candle tells me let me sell. Nothing about that weekly candle. Nothing about this daily price action is telling me to sell. Even like on a 15-minute, I mean, we're so heavily bullish on this. No. Yeah, no. Oh, I mean, you're right. I mean, you see it, boofs, right? Order flow breaks, order flow break, order flow break. But that's about it. Um, I'm not going to swim against the current with CAD. I'd rather wait for a true break of structure of some sort or a really clean distribution. And this right here, like when we look at it, like when we just look at it from a 5, and let's look at the 5-minute, right? Let's look at the 5-minute. Let's just isolate. Hold on. Let's do it like this. Maybe this will put it in perspective. So let's just look like this. So the first question is, who's in control? Supply or demand, right? Because every time it comes into supply, look at how many times we're trying to, this was a distribution that failed. This was a distribution that failed and finally got taken. Every time we come into a demand point, I mean, look at that, no sign of weakness, this push up. Yeah, I'm not going to try and sell this thing. Maybe if we had a clean distro, like if we get a really clean distro, like on a counter trend side, then I'll take it, but not out of that. Not out of that. And the fact that we came in and couldn't even break this low here to really push anything down. Now, I mean, you saw it, like you had a bunch of boofs, right? A bunch of breaks of order flow. What did we just do? We just broke order flow now, right? Because this was that push down to that push down to that push down. So you just witnessed a boof here. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So what you got, bro? What craziness you trading, Yuri? What do you got, man? You got anything? What did you catch any? I mean, yeah, listen, I will tell you this. Like I have no problem taking certain trades, but some of this stuff is just sideways here. I know somebody was looking at Euro GBP. Yeah, bro, good luck with that. I mean, we're finally getting the movement, but I'm not interested in being in a trade for I'm not interested in being a trade for 11 days to only now start to see some movement down. Like this was just a mess. GU and gold only got partials on gold. Yeah. I tried taking something on gold today, but just didn't see an entry. Yeah. I'll tell you, like I said, I'm holding this. This was that CHF JPY was the play for me. That CHF, where is it? That CHF JPY entry. This one down here, that was the play for me last week. And I'm still holding it. I mean, what's it at? I think it's like a 1 to 123 or something. Yeah, 1 to 123. That's the only play I got. How did I catch it? Yeah, I went over this. It was that Friday. It was off that 15-second schematic. Because like what we were looking at, we were looking at the accumulation, right? 1, 2, 3 drives, and then what do we get? So higher time frame, 1, 2, 3 drives, and then you have this schematic in here that creates the spring. So because this was technically potentially, right, the STB of this and the spring of the smaller time frame, I just started looking lower time frame. And then when you go down to 1 minute, what do you see? Well, you see price starting to compress, right? All right, so now I'm just sitting here. So I waited on the 15 and, you know, all right, potentially schematic, but we never broke structure, right? Never had the break, never had the break. And then when we had this, what do we have, right? All right, first change of character, right? You can see what? You can see buyers are in control, right? Look at every time we come in. This was the 1 minute candle. I took it off 50% of the 1 minute candle. You had the imbalance sitting here. You had that 15-second candle, and boom, that was my entry, and off to the races it went. So I think it was like it was a 2-pip stop. That's what it was. Where is it? Yeah, 2-pip stop. So you're in a sell on GA. So I mean, I could tell you I traded smart money before Wyckoff, and I was successful with smart money, but I'm more successful with Wyckoff with some. You need smart money in order to trade Wyckoff because you have to have that understanding. So the stop loss. Listen, on that 15-second, the stop loss looked huge, but yeah, you know, it wasn't that 0.6 pip that I caught on that EU sell, but yeah, yeah. You're in the sell on GA, dude. I'll tell you what, Yuri, like GA is just sideways for me. Like here, like I'll give you like my thought on it. So we are right. So for me, this is maintaining structure right here. This is that leg. You know, we had this accumulation, but that accumulation was unable to break this structure point that came down, right? And then what do? We mitigated that point, and now what have we done? We just sideways. And this is something I was like looking at. You know, GA in a month normally gave 1,000 pips, right? And what has this thing done in 18 days has done 230 pips. That's it. You know, so I'm guessing you took it off this distro right here. Yeah, is that where you caught it? Off that distro? Yeah, it is. It is Bing. No, yeah, CHF JPY was a good play. I mean, you know, it was an easy play. Let me see what you got. Oh, yeah, you dropped your chart. Let me see what you got. I gotta wear my sunglasses, bro. That's what I need. So you took it off of that. I gotcha. On a 5 minute on GA. All right. Yeah, I mean, I would have been looking. Oh, we did that. Did that. Yeah, I mean, there's your distro right in here. There's your distro. So like if we go to replay mode here, hold on, let's just see if we find it. What is it, 15 minute? GA could go higher to the top for our order block. Yeah, I mean, realistically, I still think I think we're still bullish. We haven't really broken any true structure. All right, so wait a minute. Let's see, hold on. Where's our distro? Where is our distro? We had all right, so we had where's that candle? Let me just see if I can find where this thing came into. 30 minute. 30. Am I still in the GA buy? No. I got stopped out in profits. Yeah, I got nothing. Oh, look, I did have a distribution in there. All right, so 23 minute. Let's just see, 40 minute maybe. I want to find where we came into. 42. That 40 looks pretty good. 43. What's the? Oh, now we're talking. What was that? 46, 45, 42, 41. Let's see. Just curious to see where that thing came into. Yeah, hold on. So this is the 50. This is the 80. Go back 1 minute. Sure enough, here's your 80% right there. Does it mitigate here? Does that mitigate there? Does that mitigate there? Yeah. Yeah, I'd be inclined to say I would have taken it off of that 80, but it never made a new low, so I wouldn't have taken it anyway. But there she is, into the 80, into the 80. What was that? What did that stop loss have been? Yeah, 4.3 pips. That's what it would have been. 4.3 pips. So that would have been the stop loss right there on that high. Let's see. Yeah, so it'd be at a 1 to 15 right now. But it didn't make a new low. So like for me, the reason I wouldn't even looked at it is because did this distro, did it break this demand? And no, it didn't. So yeah. Let's see. If you're lower time frame schematic, you always wait for a move before taking a trade. Yeah. I need a break of structure inside of that schematic. Yeah, like I just don't randomly, yeah, because like at what point do you take the entry? I mean, price, you get a distribution, right? Here's your UTAD. Unless if price doesn't break, right, where are you taking your entry? If price comes down to this, why would I take an entry here? What do we have? We have bullish order flow still, right? So I need that break. I need that break. Let's see. This is what I'm looking for minus the risk. Yeah, but what the question is on that 4 hour, right? What did it do? Let's see. So you're looking in this 4 hour, right? What did that do? It didn't break this low, right? This is what's maintaining structure. All it's done is broken order flow, right? All this was just order flow. So, and you came into here. So, I mean, you can, yeah. I'm looking for continuation. 1.85 is where I'm looking to take it eventually. I just need confirmation of it. Have a go on, man. How do I partial out? What do you mean, like personally partial out? Like physically, how do I do it? Like in MT5? Yeah, like that, or like where do I partial out? Yeah. No, it did give a good retracement. Like this is where we were. I mean, look at that. Look how close this came to my entry. That's the order. I had those orders sitting there. So when you're in a trade, yeah, like so at specific points, Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it did it. Yeah, it's in limbo. Exactly, bro. Like this is the dumbest thing that GA has done in, right? 20 days. 20 days. It's just it's drunk. It doesn't know what the hell it wants to do. Yeah. So when I'm going to trade, I based off of your entry points, like where you're going to partial out. So like CHF JPY, right? CHF JPY, that buy I took. Where did I partial out? I partialed out off that entry. My first partial is when we broke the high, right? We came down when we broke this high. I took some partials. We took this high. I took some partials. When we broke this high up here, I took some partials, and then took some partials at 120 whole number. Took some partials. So and mostly I took partials there because I started to see the distribution. So I took partials right here when we came back up to 120. Took partials. So yeah, I've partialed out 4 times now. 4 times. So even if it reacted off the weekly institutional candle, that doesn't hold weight for the sell. Yeah, but what in your mind, what is a reaction off of the weekly candle? Like give me the pair. Like what are you looking at for that came into the weekly candle? GA. All right. So GA came into the weekly, right? Let's look. So GA came into what weekly? What weekly candle did we come into? Because I'm taking partials when structure breaks and steady stops to break even. But sometimes price can come to entry to mitigate. So I was just asking your opinion. Thanks for answering. Yeah, okay. Are you maintaining those pendings? What do you mean? Like, no. At that point, no. Yeah, they're not active pending orders anymore just because we got a reaction from the area. But yeah, so like on GA, like where in what weekly candle are you looking at? Let's see. You're talking about this weekly candle right here? That weekly candle? That one? Last up before the down, the white arrow. Talking about this weekly candle. That weekly candle. Okay. But isn't that the move? Wasn't that the mitigation of the weekly candle? This one right here? When it came back into that? Where are you looking? Let's see. Not only IG, this guy. Yeah, I mean, sure. Like, I mean, you're talking about that weekly. Hold on. You're talking about this weekly, right? Yeah, this is the weekly you're talking about right here, right? Yeah, this was the mitigation of it right here, right? That was the mitigation, no? What is special about 80%? Oh, bro, you're just gonna have to back test that. You're gonna have to back test it. Yeah, I guess would be reaction off the mitigation of the weekly. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm asking. This was the mitigation of the weekly, but at this point, I mean, this is just crap. This is just all slop, you know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sell just because we come into a weekly candle. I mean, if that's the case, then congrats to whoever did this, right? Congrats to everybody who decided, because I was looking for it, but never gave me the confirmation. But look at that weekly candle. And what did she do? And she just plowed right through it right there. Plowed right through it. And this is that candle that caused the new low. So yeah, I mean, you got to have reason to sell, and there was no reason to sell. I mean, the reason I took it is because it was the new low. It was the new low. It was the new low. So you're saying, because you have this weekly candle that caused this push here, you took that sell. I got you. All right, good. Hey, listen, if your journal tells you to do that, bro, do it, man. Like if you're successful with that, like I'm not here to tell you not to do that. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you not to do it. Do it. If you're successful with that, great. I mean, I just trade a little differently than that. That's all. Like for me, I need confirmations of a sell. So, and yeah, I at that point, I still haven't had any confirmations, on the, yeah, like I didn't have any confirmations yet. So for me, we're still maintaining bullish structure off of this leg right here. So yeah. What was the stop loss from that weekly candle on GA? Yeah, but I'll be honest, like I don't even know why you would take it, because it's been mitigated, like, so if you're saying you're taking it off this weekly candle, right? I mean, what did that do? Right? That was ultimately, if you're saying you're going to take it off the weekly, you should probably take it off of this weekly, right? because this is the weekly that ended up causing the break. So yeah, but if you're going to take it off that weekly, I mean, I don't know, what was the stop loss? The stop loss was, 240 pips. Yeah, it's a little too rich for my blood on that one. Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. You know what? I was going to do some crypto. So hold on. From that bullish structure low, price gave a push up and then a deep retracement. So wouldn't that be the new leg? From that, wait a minute, from that bullish structure low on the intraday, from, you talking about from here? Wouldn't this be the new leg? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, no. For me, because this is, we only broke structure here, right? This is where we broke structure. All of this is equal, So this was the leg, right? The leg was like to this. This is ultimately the reaccumulation on the lower time frame. And then this is the continuation. So for me, this is our leg, right? This is our leg like that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this to me was just it was ultimately the reaccumulation that occurred. You could see the distro into the drives, and yeah, I would have liked for price to have maybe reacted off of that, but it's just sideways. Yeah, here's some quick crypto stuff that I am looking at. I've been looking at it for a while. And again, I'm not leverage trading this. I am simply just on the exchange side. Aave's one. We had a really good reaccumulation into an accumulation. So I bought last week. I bought here at 321. So saw a really nice move. I'm looking for this to continue, break this high, and then maybe come back down into this buy area. So that's what I'm looking with that. ADA, if you're in Cardano, just keep an eye on it, man, because it's an active distro, right? We're an active distro on it. Yeah. Did I sell some? No, I haven't sold anything. You bought it at 5 cents. Good job, bro. Good job. I ain't gonna toot my own horn, but I got a couple of those in there. Anchor's another one. So you could see I've just been cost dollar averaging. This was the key one right here. 50% of that move right there is what I caught on the 22nd. Caught another move when we came into 50% of that. Just kind of been buying up, and you could see where the target is. So, off of my lower entry where I'd be looking, I mean, this is about 113% profit. But what I want to see is, you can ultimately kind of put it together. I want to see this push here. And then if this is the reason, this is the slingshot that I'll be looking for price to come back into for us to go higher. Am I buying? No, I'm not buying it. It's gone. What do you think about XLM? Yeah, I got XLM in there. Here you go, Yuri. This is one that I got. So I'm just waiting on comp, but I bought back in January off the reaccumulation in here. This thing's up almost 500%, or it was up 500%. Yeah, 430 is where I got in it. Ethereum. Yeah, I got, where's Ethereum? So Ethereum, my next buy area. So I bought back in December. I bought for 558. Realistically, I don't see this thing pulling back. I mean, maybe if it gets back into here, like around 2400, right? Like this would be a potential area in here. I just don't know. I don't know if we're going to get that push back down. It's going to take a lot. This is one that I do have on my radar. And it's simply because of this accumulation, and we broke the lower time frame structure here. I have a buy limit here, but I did buy in out of these 2 points. And, it does look like it's getting some pretty good movement. Like off of this buy right here, I'm already up, almost 5% on it. So we'll see. I'm gonna keep this open. I want to see if I can get one more push up. Yeah, no, NFTs are definitely, yeah. Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, absolutely. I'm buying everything on the engine is one. Everything on the Ethereum blockchain I'm buying. You know, yeah, engine is one. I'm looking. I bought all of these last week when we came down into this. I'm looking for that push up. What's another one? Uh, Here's this one here. Sinks is another one I'm looking at. So I have an order limit. I did buy last week here, and I bought some more the previous week, but we came into 50% of the daily, which was really nice. Came into 50% of this daily candle. So that's where I started taking some buys. And then you can see the accumulation right here, 1, 2, 3 drives. And then it was enough to push above this high. So I'm looking for buys all in this area right here. Like I said, I'm already in one. I did get a little cost dollar average in here. So I'm looking for this continuation up. What do I have on Uni? Yeah, Uni is this. I'm waiting here. What is it on the 1 hour? I think I got 2 buy limits. That yeah, I'm waiting in these 2 areas right here. So you can kind of see from a leg perspective. What do we have? We have price that came down here and then exploded into that. So I'm looking here and I'm looking here for buys. So like 33.30 and 36.50 is where I'm looking. Absolute, man. Have a good one. Yeah, that's where I'm looking here. XLM. Here's what I got in XLM. So I bought some more already. Yeah, I was buying out of here. So I caught my first buy right in here, 50% of the daily candle. So I caught in here at 39, and I've just been buying up as we kind of been just going up with it. My first purchase was in here as we were coming down, but I'm okay with it. Like I said, I'm sitting pretty nice off of this buy from last week. This is up 33%. And ideally, what do I want to see? Well, I want to see us take this new high, right? We take that new high, and depending on how we get there, I'm going to be looking probably something like here or down in this area. Yep, sounds good, man. Have a good one. XRP, yeah, bro. I'll tell you right now, man. If XRP's got a way to go. Yep, I still have MSwap and CBC. I do. So with these, like I'm just kind of waiting to see if we ground out. I mean, look at this. You don't get a better price point than that. But these things are just great to catch these small little moves because, I mean, look at this. So if you just get in at a random point and it spikes up, I mean, what I'm doing is I'm cashing out on the spikes. So I bought in. I think I bought in last week somewhere in here, and you can see this was a quick. Come on. This was a quick 122%. Any of these spikes, this one here was a quick 128%. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of waiting. I haven't actually got into this yet. I'm slowly waiting to see, but look at these. I mean, these are some 170%. And then CBC is the other one doing the same kind of thing. I mean, just getting in and catching these quick little spikes. Like this spike here was almost 200%. So that's what I'm doing with it. Here's XRP. So XRP for me, I took some more buys out of here, and we've kind of broken the lower time frame structure on it. Realistically, I would be looking more for me to really drop some more money into it. We need to come down into that area. My average price is 32 or 23 cents is my average price, and it's all based off of the higher time frame schematic, right? Off the higher time frame schematic, that's where I got in off this LPS down in here. So yeah, I would be looking in here, for me to really buy in and drop some more money into that. Yeah. But I did throw a couple more in here just to buy it off of that. That raised my dollar average to I think like 25 cents. But we'll see. I mean, this still has a lot of potential to go to the upside. What broker do I use? So I use two. I use Coinbase Pro and I use crypto.com. And then I use Exodus as my wallet. Exodus and MetaMask is what I'm trying out. So I'm trying MetaMask for all the Ethereum stuff. Yeah. So, but this is everything I got on my radar. You know, I'm looking in here, same thing. Like this is this is the area I'm looking. You know, I've got buy limits set in here. As soon as we come down, you know, this would be a nice little area to buy off of. What's the other one? Solana one. Hold on. Yeah, same thing here. You know, if we come back into this reaccumulation, this is where I'd like to buy from, like around 24, 25 cents. Where is, I do have Dash. So I am looking, is it Dash? Yeah. So I have a limit order on Dash at 200. I just don't know. I mean, I thought we were going to get it when we had this pullback. So I'm in from this accumulation way down here. I'm in, when did I buy? I bought in at 65 off of this type 2 way back in here. I mean, obviously it's up some pretty penny. I mean, what's it up from that? It's 500%. You know, but I'm just kind of waiting on it now. I'd like for it to come back down into this area here. I don't know if we're going to get it. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get it. So if this high gets taken, you know, then I'll be probably focusing my attention probably down into this area here, to go from there. So, but that's pretty much all I got. I know I've been on here for a while. Any other last minute questions? If not, I'm going to call it a night. What do you got, Yuri, bro? What do you got? Is this Deutsch? This is your Deutsch? Oh, this is gold. Jeez, bro. Yeah. Yeah. This is, yeah. I have a tool for this. I have a tool for that. Look, when I go to the gold, my gold, it's pretty easy to use. I'm sure you've seen it, bro. Like you just go and where's gold? You can, it clears it up so much easier, man. You just come here and you just do that, bro. That's all you got to do right there. That's all you got to do. Yeah. Have you just been scalping it up and down with it? Yeah, it is. I mean, it's ugly. It's ugly. I tried on it. So like I tried, what did we try? I was looking in here, man. So to start the week, I was looking at this accumulation. And then we were looking, where were we looking? I don't remember now. I think it was just out of this point here. You know, it gave a decent reaction, but no follow through. And then we were looking again. I was looking again for a buy out of somewhere, out of an accumulation, but never broke structure. So I never took it. Yeah. 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 Just keep in mind too, there's a lot of fundamentals with gold going on right now. You know, if you guys haven't, you know, like today's spike was Janet Yellen talking about the whole, you know, for some reason gold reacts to 7 billion or trillion dollars in back taxes owed in the US. So I don't know. You know, it's comical how they're really manipulating this. So yeah. But anyway, guys, that's all she wrote. What are the best prices to buy this coin? What do you got? What is it? What is it? Cheesecake? Is that what you're doing? Cheesecake? I don't know. I don't know what the, let me see. Well, I mean, just looking at it from the structure perspective, right? You've got, this is your high, right? This is your previous high. So what caused that high? And it was something in here, right? So if you're going to dollar cost average on it, you know, I would start looking, I would probably start looking like sub $2 in here. Later, man. Have a good one. Yeah, I would start looking sub $2, so anything below $2 is where I'd start to look. I would really focus in on what happened down here though. Yeah, man. See you. Man, this is running slow. 30-minute. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see the schematic in here, the accumulation that happened. So anywhere, like I would say anything between like $1.70 and maybe even like $1.85 is where I'd be looking. So yeah, absolutely, man. Have a good night. So that's where I'd be looking. I'd be looking here. Wait for this sucker to come down, and I'd be looking anywhere between like $1.70 and $1.85 on it. Just off the chart technicals, I really don't. I don't hold cheesecake. I haven't looked at it. Most of the swap stuff that I'm doing, like a super bid, I've got. What else do I have? I have vet. I have a third one too. I can't remember the third one. What do I have in here? Yeah. Oh, well, guys. All right. Well, listen, folks, enjoy. Thank you for hopping on. I'll catch you guys in the morning. If you guys, just heed my warning, man. It's NFP week. Definitely take your partials, man. Take your partials early. You don't want to get stuck. Not to say that it's. I could tell you this. I would not want to get stuck with being up in a decent, some decent pips on a decent R to R and get stuck with a break even. So yeah. So I'll catch everybody later. Enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the morning, man. Have a good night.